Terry Silver's story is one of tragedy and madness. He didn't start as a villain. He was once a man with good intentions, but by the end of Cobra Kai Season 6, he became completely irredeemable. What happened that made him turn into a monster, and why in his final moments did even his closest friend, John Kreese, decide that Terry had to die? Let's break it all down. Terry Silver's downfall began decades before Cobra Kai. He was an ambitious and idealistic young man whose life changed forever during the Vietnam War. In the jungles of Vietnam, he formed an unbreakable bond with John Kreese, a friendship forged in trauma. But it was also there that Terry's sense of morality and reality began to unravel. Terry likely suffered from severe PTSD. His erratic behavior, paranoia, and intense loyalty to Kreese all point to unresolved trauma. Kreese became more than just a friend. He became Terry's guiding compass and the only person Terry trusted. This bond was powerful, but it was also toxic. Terry didn't just carry the scars of war, he also carried the weight of his father's expectations. Inheriting Dynatox Industries gave him power and wealth, but it also trapped him in a life he didn't want. He was constantly trying to prove himself to be the perfect businessman and son, but deep down, he longed for something else, karate and his bond with Kreese. Karate was his escape, a place where he felt powerful and in control, but it was also the arena where his deepest flaws would be exposed. When Terry re-enters the story in Cobra Kai Season 4, he appears to be a different man, wealthy, successful, and seemingly at peace. But all it takes is one phone call from Kreese to drag him back into the dojo and back into old patterns. Kreese knew how to manipulate Terry, playing on his insecurities and need for validation, and just like that, Terry was dragged back into Cobra Kai. But something was different this time. Terry's trauma and paranoia bubbled to the surface. His resentment toward Kreese grew, and eventually it boiled over. Terry returns to Cobra Kai, but things escalate quickly. By the end of Season 4, Terry betrays Kreese, framing him for a crime and taking control of Cobra Kai for himself. He finally feels free, believing he's the true visionary of the dojo. Season 5 is where Terry's ambition reaches dangerous new heights. He turns Cobra Kai into a karate empire, opening new dojos across the valley and recruiting a powerful team of senseis. But with this new level of power comes a deeper descent into darkness. Terry is no longer content with teaching karate, he wants to dominate it. However, Terry's perfect empire quickly begins to fall apart. Daniel, Johnny, and with the help of Chosen, expose Terry for who he truly is. His students turn against him, his reputation is destroyed, and Cobra Kai crumbles around him. For a man like Terry Silver, this wasn't just a loss, it was a humiliation. His dream of rolling the valley was shattered, but Terry wasn't finished, not yet. With Cobra Kai in ruins, Terry sets his sights on something bigger, the Iron Dragons, a global karate organization. Unlike Cobra Kai, the Iron Dragons represent something much grander, a way to cement his legacy forever, but there's another layer to this obsession, one driven by desperation. Terry suffering from a terminal illness, possibly cancer, explains everything. Terry's facing his own mortality, and the Iron Dragons are his last chance to leave something behind. His obsession with legacy and immortality grows stronger than ever. But as Terry's ambitions grew, so does his madness. When he realizes that he might actually lose the tournament and go out losing, Terry takes things farther than ever before, plotting to kidnap Johnny's wife and daughter. This is where even Kreese draws a line. He recognizes that look in Terry's eye, cold, calculated, and dangerous. Kreese knows that Terry has lost touch with reality and is willing to destroy innocent lives for his vision. At that moment, Kreese realizes that Terry must be stopped, permanently. In a heartbreaking and brutal twist, Kreese confronts Terry one last time. This isn't just a fight, it's a final act of mercy. Kreese decides that the only way to end the madness is to take both of their lives, stopping the toxic cycle they've been trapped in for decades. It's a tragic but fitting end. Terry Silver dies as a mad king, consumed by his own ambitions and paranoia. Kreese, in his own twisted way, redeems himself by stopping the monster they both created. Their deaths marked the end of an era and the end of Cobra Kai's darkest chapter. So why was Terry Silver irredeemable? It wasn't just his trauma or his illness, it was the choices he made along the way. He had countless chances to walk away, to heal, to change, but each time he chose power and control over peace. By the time we reach Cobra Kai Season 6, Terry is way too far gone. His death at the hands of Kreese was the only fitting end to a life consumed by ambition and madness. Terry Silver was a man who could have been saved, once, but by the end he was beyond redemption. Do you think there was ever a way to save him, or was his fate sealed from the start? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for a more deep dive into Cobra Kai's most complex characters. Hope you enjoyed this.